We got 35 items sold for a total of $584. So let's get to talking about what we got going out and show you guys what's sold. So what's going on, everybody? My name is Marcus. Welcome back to another video. It is a rainy, wet day outside, and I decided to wear Birkenstocks with sandals, with socks. So my socks are wet. It is what it is. At least I wore a raincoat. So this storm is moving up from Texas to us. So big shout out to Chris from Flip the World. Glad you're okay, bro. So a lot of you guys seem to want more content from me over here on this channel. I guess I'll do the best that I can to oblige that. So I want to discuss something real quick. There was a comment on yesterday's video about how they're watching my store and they see a lot of $2 sold items. Yes, of course you do. I put 2,000 items on sale for $2. Those are not the breadwinners of the store, guys. I think people need to come to terms with the fact that my store is not your store. My sales don't have to affect you whatsoever. And you guys seem to sit here and say, how are you making money? So look, this example is a $1.80 sold price for a $2 item with a 10% off offer. $1.50 is what I pay for the item. $9.99 is the shipping charge. We'll just say $5 is the shipping price. Could be more, could be less. Promoted sell at 5% with a premium store. Sales tax 8%. I'm still making $2.62 on this item, with my cost of goods being paid back. So I'm $2.62 profit on that item. That's still enough money to go buy 2 more items at the bins. So yeah, is the theory to make as much money as I possibly can on those $2 sales? No. The theory, the point of doing that is to get rid of an item that's been in my store for 2 years. It's not what I'm making my money off of. It's not how I'm paying my bills. It's moving stale inventory that shouldn't even be in my store. The concept of all that is just to get rid of old items. What pays my bills are the items that sell for a higher dollar, the newer items that I'm putting in my store that are worth being in my store. So I appreciate the fact that you guys try to look at my store to see what's going on with my bank account. I don't know why it matters, but nonetheless, we're going to show you guys some items that are selling. Now, with the new promoted listings, we'll talk more about that later. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but yesterday they laid out a new promoted listings tool. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. But got some pretty decent sales coming out. Really want to just share with you guys and see how everything's been going with you all. Got a bunch of inventory to list right here. And we're going to start pulling some orders. So, like I said, it's raining outside. So if you guys hear water in the background, that's what it is. So before we go any further with today's video, I want to interrupt it with a word from our sponsor, which is eBay. If you guys haven't noticed yet, the promoted listings and promotions tab is totally revamped and changed. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. You'll have to forgive me for the loud vibration in the background. That's the AC. I don't know where you guys are at, but it's hot here in Missouri. So if you'll look right here, we have a advertising tab on the Seller Hub. If you guys are not using the Seller Hub, I really think you're missing out. And if you are not running a store to where you can use this marketing and advertising tab, I think you're also missing out. A lot of us know that you got to pay to play nowadays, and I'm sorry to say, but that's just the way it is. I promote all my listings, and I made $184,000 in sales last year. 100,000 of that plus came from using promoted listings. So do I think that you can make sales without it? Of course. Do I think it's optimal to use them? To some degree, I think you should, even if you promote at the lowest amount. Now, I'm not the guy that's going to tell you go promote it, 10%, 15%, 25%. I think there's a barrier. After a certain point, you're just giving away additional revenue. But so if we look at what I've got as far as on the campaign so far, this is going to be 7,000 clicks for a quantity of 391 sold. This is just over the last 31 days. Now, my metrics are down right now compared to last month, but hey, it's the beginning of the month. It's only 8 days in, so we still got plenty of time to turn this around. Now, if you look at the conversion rate, my conversion rate is up and my click-through rate is up my return on ad spend is up. Now, this just lays everything out for you nice and neat, real precise, real easy to read. You get all your campaigns right here. So let me click further on the tab right here that says campaigns. You can see every campaign you've ever created, and it makes it easy to tell which ones are active or which ones don't have any items left in them. This one right here has 0 items in there. What we're going to do is click on this button. Now we can delete. I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of campaigns that were no longer being used anymore, and I had no idea how to delete them. Now with this new update, you can delete all tabs right here that you're not using, any promotions that you don't have any active items in. This one right here doesn't have any active items in it. It's from May 4th, 2023. That campaign doesn't need to be there anymore, so now I'm going to delete that. And it makes it real easy to clean things up. It makes it real easy to see where all your money's going to. And then not only that, if you wanted to create a campaign, you can go right here to create a new campaign. And let's just say for kicks and grins, I'm going to do a promotion real quick to show you guys how it would be. So number one, you can promote your listings. Now you can promote your entire store, or you can do offsite ads. I tried offsite ads. You know, here's the thing, guys. If you're selling used clothes like I do, there's not much value in offsite ads. If you're selling like sneakers or like, replenishables, something that, it's not going to really cut into your margins a lot more, offsite ads would work really, really great. But for the one-off type of seller, I don't think offsite ads is going to give you the return on ad spend that you're looking for. Promoting your store, you can do that by category, or you can just do a coupon that promotes your entire store. I'm not going to do that because I know how much of a pain in the butt. I know how much of a pain in the butt it is when you're on someone's listing and there's someone else's entire store being promoted on there. It is what it is. That's the name of the game. You got to pay to play. So with promoting my listings, I can do priority. This helps you get more sales because there's different tools involved. You have key features that are different. And let me show you what I'm saying. So you have these different metrics right here: today's recommendation, suggested campaigns, trend-based campaigns, advertising insights. And all of these come from when you're doing different campaigns. If you're doing the general, you're just going to get general promoted listings. But if you're doing the priority, you're going to get all these different options. Now, there are some caveats to this. It's going to say, why don't I see today's recommendations on my dashboard? If you look back at my dashboard, let's just go to the general campaigns. On the dashboard, we don't see today's recommendations. We don't see, what's the other one they said? We don't see suggested campaigns, and we don't see trend-based campaign suggestions. Well, that's because I'm not using the priority promoted listings. I'm using general promoted listings. If you want to use those, you have that option. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my setting up my campaign, set up a campaign, promote my listings. I'll do the general because I'm not going to pay for clicks. I feel that, like I said once already, paying for clicks on clothing makes you lose money versus paying for sales. I'm going to pay for sales. So I'll add the listings. I'm going to just do 2 items real quick. I'm going to add these listings, these 2 items right here, and I'm going to do a fixed rate. I'm not going to do a dynamic rate. And I'm going to do 5%. This is real quick to set up, guys. So we'll do this general campaign name right here, and we'll set it to continuous. That way, whenever it ends, it'll just restart. We don't have to worry about going in, cleaning up policies again, recreating policies. It's going to do it all for us. And then we'll just launch that. Real quick and easy. 2 items in my campaign real quick. And now you see it right here. It's active. It says active. I guess it's going to have to give it some time to generate those 2 items in here. Earlier, I gave it a trial run with 2 items, and those 2 items are also in the listing. They're not great items, so they haven't gotten any clicks yet, but it is what it is. We'll see how it turns out. Now, I want to go back to the frequently asked questions. Why the rebranding and changing of vocabulary? They said to provide clear, consistent naming that aligns with your business needs and helps you select the best option to achieve your goals, whether it's increasing visibility or reaching buyers beyond eBay. So how does the new advertising experience differ? The new experience is more intuitive and data-driven, offering real-time metrics, personalized recommendations, and streamlined campaign management. How do I find the advertising board? Great question. It's right here next to the marketing tab on your eBay seller hub between store and marketing. What is the difference between suggested and trending campaigns? Suggested campaigns are customized based on top performing listings and eBay recommendations, whereas the trending campaigns based on search terms match to your listing for relevant, timely promotions. Sorry about the dings, guys. Okay, so why don't I see suggested campaigns on my advertised dashboard? Suggested campaigns appear based on marketplace trends and relevance. They are available for select sellers with multi-quantity listings priced over $20. Why don't I see today's recommendations in my dashboard? You may not see it if your campaigns are performing well, your campaigns are new and lack sufficient data, your campaigns use general strategy instead of priority strategy. And so that's what I was saying. I only use general strategy. I'm not using the priority strategy. So I'm not going to be paying per click, but you can totally do that if you choose to. And then why don't I see any trend-based campaign suggestions? Trend-based suggestions appear when listings align with current trends. Check back as you add new listings or as new trends emerge. So this is available in the US, the UK, I don't know what DE is, but France and Italy and Australian sites. So we all should be seeing this roll out today. This started today. So I think that it's going to be much more efficient to add the campaigns in campaigns, see what's working in your campaigns. As you see here, this campaign is up. This one is down. This one is up. This one is down. So I can go through these campaigns, check out the items, find out if I need to do something with the items that are on those campaigns, if I need to raise or lower the promotion on either one of those, and see what I can do to tinker around with that to get a higher return on ad spend and to generate more sales. $500 spent on $600 worth of sales, that's pretty fair for me, in my opinion, considering the fact that when I did pay-per-click, it was like $500 spent on, I think it was like $1,000 to $1,500. So I wouldn't pay-per-click. I would do general, and I would be promoting. I know, guys, it's a touchy subject in the reselling community, but we kind of just got to rock with it. If you are picking gold bars that you could sell for, less money than what they go for, then you're going to sell all your items and you're going to sell them as fast as possible. For the rest of us, we got to do what we got to do. So as you can see, guys, these sales have been moving out some inventory, right? So the goal is to get all this old inventory that doesn't need to be in here. And as I sell the inventory out, everything moves over. This is the oldest items that I have listed. And it starts up here with like 2,699. So I've sold over 2,000 items that just didn't need to be in my store, which I'm thankful for. But with that comes a lot of open space so I can continue to grow the store. Now I'm going to show you guys some of these items that sold, and I'm going to give you one example of why these sales with the low dollar still are profitable. Starting with this 3-shirt order. All these shirts sold for like $3, but the buyer paid for them with all the shipping on the items at $9.99 shipping each. So $9.99 shipping each. It's going to cost me what, $6, $7 to ship this whole entire order out. So I'm going to make a lot of money off the shipping, and then I'm still going to make the $2. Well, actually this one, since they're not selling for $1.80 a piece, I'm going to make more like $3, $4 each shirt plus what I make off the shipping, just because the items were cheap enough for the buyer to buy them. So there's profit to be made on these low dollar items. Is it ideal? Is it the way that I want to run every single item? No, I'm not going to sell all the items for that price. But if I've been sitting on it, look how old the SKU is on this. That's over a year old. That's like almost a year and a half old. Look at this one, 12904. That's almost a year and a half old. So going on 2 years, that needs to get out of here. So I don't feel like I have to keep, trying to explain this to you guys. I feel like you guys are business savvy enough and have been selling on eBay long enough to realize where your profit margins lie at. My profit margins don't have to equal your profit margins. My buy cost probably isn't the same as yours either. So if you're paying $5 for an item, it doesn't make sense to sell it for $2. you're going to lose money. If you're paying $1.50 for an item, $1.40, $1 for an item, by all means, do what you will. This is a pair of Carhartt jeans, just men's Carhartt jeans, sold for $15. Those are a men's 38-32. Then we have here a Nike t-shirt. This sold for $12. Let me see what size that is. That is a 3XL. Got this Old Navy, newer tags, extra small, tall. It's kind of just like a cami. Sold for, what was that? $6.50. And that item is super old as well. So one of the things I do need to discuss is that I've been using auto posture, which I'm not very pleased with it, honestly, guys. I'll probably be going back to Vendu. But here's my thing. The reason why I started using auto posture is because I had all these items there and they were getting relisted. So I figured I'll go ahead and use auto posture since I'm going to end and delist them because I went on vacation and all my items, not all my items, but a good chunk of my items got delisted. So now they're not on Poshmark listed with the same listing that they have now. The listings don't keep the same chain of the connection from one platform to the next. So when the item sells on eBay, it's still going to be listed on Poshmark because that chain was broken. Auto posture doesn't break the chain when the item relists on another platform. If you relist it on eBay, it'll get relisted on Poshmark. So that's why it shows auto posture. But it's not as good as it seems, right? Because even though this item relisted and sold for a best offer of $6.50, I have a bunch of items on Poshmark that are not now listed on eBay. So when they get listed on, or when they sell on eBay, they're not going to get delisted on Poshmark. So now I've got another logistical nightmare in my business to deal with, which is kind of one of the reasons why cross listing just in general is not optimal. You guys heard it from tech all the time. Cross listing is, it's not where it's at. But at the same time, it does generate a bunch of extra cash that I wouldn't have made if I wasn't on Poshmark. So, I mean, it's kind of like you take the good with the bad. It's bittersweet. Anyway, like I said, I don't know if I'm very pleased with auto posture. So we got this Rip Curl shirt that sold for $12. What is this? Oh, Dairy Queen shirt that sold for, I believe, $9. Dairy Queen shirt sold for $9. The Rip Curl shirt sold for $12.15. Rip Curl's 2XL, and this is a men's medium. Then I got this pair of Nike Dry Fit shorts sold for $13.50. That is a pair of men's 34. These are going to be more newer items, except for this Branson hat. This Branson hat has been listed for at least 2 years, but it sold for $12.15 after being relisted by Auto Posture. So pretty decent sell. It's got the World Wildlife Federation Foundation, whatever the WWF is. This logo is coming off, though. That wasn't like that when I first listed the hat, so I'll have to message the buyer about that. Then we got this here Middlebury maybe, I don't know how you pronounce it, shirt. This sold for $15. That is a men's medium. Then we got this Sims fishing shirt. Sims is a good brand. If you guys find this is just a vented long sleeve button up. So for $21, that is a men's. Oh, that's a men's medium as well. Then we got these Nike pants, just some Nike sweatpants, Nike joggers. Those are men's medium. Also, those sold for a best offer of $12. Then we have these. What is this? Carhartt. No, these are Gap jeans, women's size 32, 14 long. Those sold for a best offer of $15. So we got this men's Johnny O hoodie. This one is not in the greatest of conditions, so I sold this one for $25. That's a men's extra large right there. It's got that like little moral type pattern on it or whatever. So those are some of the items that are keeping the business afloat, those types of items. The money doesn't come from the low dollar items. While there is still profit to be made, that is not what keeps the ship floating. What keeps the ship floating are these items right here that sell for $25, $21, $15, even $12 and $15, guys. $12 items, look up the cost of goods calculator, and you'll still make decent money on those. Is it going to make you rich? Probably not going to make you rich, but at the same time, it does pay the bills. So yeah, there's another comment that keeps popping up in the comment section. Volume item. The secret to eBay is volume with lower prices or items priced to sell. That's just common sense. If you're going to have items priced to sell, you got to do volume, right? If you're going to have wait for all the money all the time, you can have high dollar items and you just won't make as many sales. There's many a way to make a lot of money on eBay, right? You just got to pick the way that works best for you. What works for me doesn't have to work for you. What works for you doesn't have to work for me. You got to keep it into perspective. What items do you have available for you? Do you got flea markets like Tech and Sports where you can find $500 all over print Kramer tees? Or do you got the bins where you can find basic bread and butter items? You know, you got to make what works for you. I know there's a lot of people out there that have really incredible sourcing. Some people drive far. I know there's a lot of people that drive out of state. I drive out of state or I drive out of city. Heather, she drives to another state, the Canary Closet. Bo, he drives hour and a half away to get to the thrift stores. Who else drives pretty far? I think the Resale brothers drive pretty far too to get to some of the thrift stores that they go to. It's just what works for you guys. If you got a big gigantic city you live in, max that thing out, get the best items you can, make all the money in the world that you can. If you don't live in a big city, you live in a rural city like me and you got to travel, hey, there's no excuses, right? We still make it do what it do, baby. So that's going to do it for this one. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, let's make this cash, guys. Peace. Oh, yeah, and by the way, subscribe to all those channels that I mentioned. Every single one of them, they got value. Take it easy, guys. Peace.